It's not spooky season yet. In fact, we are 6 months away from spooky season, but in light of the nostalgic builds that I've been doing lately, primarily girly builds, like girlier teen girl builds, I kind of wanted to stick with the nostalgia, but go a different route and do a Scooby-Doo inspired build today. What really brought this theme to my attention was I received a comment on one of my previous videos. I've actually received several comments, but one comment in particular got a lot of likes and a lot of traction, and clearly this is a theme that you guys are interested in seeing. So here I am to give the people what they want. If you've lived under a rock your entire life, let me tell you a little bit about Scooby-Doo. So Scooby-Doo is a long-running franchise that actually premiered in 1969, you guys, and it is about a talking Great Dane, Scooby, and 4 teenagers, Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy, who travel in their van called the Mystery Machine, solving supposed supernatural mysteries, although they usually uncover that most of the ghosts and monsters are usually just humans in masks. That is the premise of Scooby-Doo. It was one of my favorite shows growing up. I still sometimes watch it before I go to bed. So I am so excited to bring these characters to life today. So in today's video, I am going to be building one house, and every room is going to be a different character from the show. Now, we will have a different bedroom for each of the characters, and then the main rooms are going to be sort of just a combination of all the characters, or just a Scooby-Doo theme in general. Before we jump into it, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, the option is there and the choice is yours. If you like content like this, you like a little bit of nostalgia, fun builds, lots of details, I might be your gal. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, we are going to be building on the old Ravenwood estate in the world that comes with life and death. What's it called? Is it called Ravenwood? I actually don't really remember. This is where we're building today. I felt like this lot was perfect for a Scooby-Doo build. So when it comes to the exterior of the build, I could go a few different routes, but I think what I really want to do is create like an old Victorian style house. Definitely like Spooky Mansion vibes, and it has to be big enough for 5 bedrooms. Let's get started, shall we? It might be cool to add some smaller details in the surrounding area that might hint at some of the mysteries that they have solved in the past. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna do some research and find out what types of things I can add in the surrounding area that would make sense. I do too much. If you know anything about me and my builds, I do too much every single time, but it always turns out pretty fun. So let's get into the shell. Here's the shell so far. The next thing that I want to do is add a front door, and then I'll add windows. Maybe just one of these, just like that. And now I have to do a bunch of windows. Here is where I'm at with the shell so far, and now I just want to add some like boards on the windows as if like the windows are boarded up. So I'm just taking this debug plank and I'm gonna use these to look like it's boarded. So we can just do those windows as boarded up, I guess. Now, when it comes to the surrounding area, I'm looking at the most popular episodes to get an idea of what I can put in the surrounding area. So let me start mapping out what I want to do. I want to create a winding path. Which ones am I going to do? I really think I want to do the Go Away Ghost ship because I think that would be a fun little addition. So I'm going to add some water over here in the corner, and then I want to add the ship. So Go Away Ghost Ship is about Scooby and the gang investigate the mysterious disappearance of fishing boats and the recent sightings of the ghost pirate Redbeard. So I want to, again, grab a boat. We do have this one that I could use. I could size this up to something like this, and then add some small boats, like fishing boats. Something like this. And then I'll add a dock there's a nod to Go Away, Ghost Ship. The boat actually looks more like that. And it looks like when they trap Redbeard, they put them in tires. So I think I'm gonna add some tires, stack of tires here. We'll get back to that. The next one that we could do the circus one, like maybe up here. Let's do Bedlam in the Big Top, which is about Scoob and the gang who are called to investigate a mysterious ghost clown who is haunting a local circus by hypnotizing people to commit crimes for him. So I have to create a circus. I wonder if there's anything in the gallery of like a circus tent. Oh, I see. Okay, that's unique. So I'm looking at kind of how they're creating this, and it looks like they're using roof pieces. That could be cool. Okay, let me do something like that. All right, so this took me a minute to figure out how to do. This is my circus tent. How fun and cute is this? I might need to try and move it back a little bit if I'm able to. I feel like my game is okay. No, that's perfect. I love when my game crashes. I'm having major issues with my game today. I don't know what's going on. I keep trying to move this building back and my game crashes every single time. So you guys, I want to mention this also. The reason why sometimes you'll notice that I don't upload my builds to the gallery is because there has been a massive gallery bug for like 4 months now, where it'll tell you that the connection has timed out and it won't let you upload your build to the gallery or save it to your library. And you just have to do it like repeatedly over and over and over and over again. And eventually sometimes it will let you do it. So the last few ones I've been able to do it after trying repeatedly, but I've noticed that my newer builds haven't been getting as many downloads as they normally do. And it's because they changed the way that the gallery looks and how the filters work. So if you do want to download my builds, now they have it to where the gallery is automatically filtered to the most popular builds from that specific creator. So if you want to find my newest builds, you have to go to the filter on the left hand side of the gallery and select newest rather than most popular, and that will pop up all of the new builds that I've done. So I'm gonna add this over to the side. Now I would like these things to be a little more discreet, I guess, but I gotta do what I gotta do, and I can't move this back, unfortunately. And then I really would like to do something for which. Let me tell you a little bit about this one. Sorry, this video kind of seems all over the place, but I'm figuring it out as I go. Bear with me. Okay, which is about the gang runs into an odd pair of a witch and a zombie who have been haunting a swamp, scaring everyone away. They decide to investigate the strange events that are driving people away from the small town. So what I want to do is create a little like hut, I guess, so like a little swamp house, a shack is I think the word I'm looking for, a shack. I might put that one maybe back here, maybe some water like here. Let's add some swampy looking water, and then we can do like wooden planks for the shack. Something like that. I'm gonna figure out my landscaping and everything at some point. I'm trying to get all of the episodes that I want to include on the exterior sort of mapped out before I actually go in with the details. So another one that I think I want to do is Spooky Space Kook, which is a UFO alien episode. The overview of Spooky Space Kook is when the mystery machine runs out of fuel, the gang stops at a nearby farmhouse for help, but they soon become involved in a mystery involving UFOs and aliens. So what I want to do is I'm pretty sure that Strangerville comes with a crashed UFO, or maybe it's actually Get Famous, because it might actually be like a set. We could do this and I could blend it in a little bit better. I think those may be the only ones that I'm doing. Let's start adding some landscaping. So let's also open up Strangerville again. I want to get some of those crashed plane debris that we can add in the background. Maybe we can add some rocks along the edge. Here are some crates that may have been transported, some suspicious cargo. Could add one of these fish these traps on the dock. Here's where we're at. I need to get a move on. I haven't even started on the inside, and look at how big this house is. I need to get this outside done, but this is such an integral part of the build, I feel like. So I did most of the landscaping. I think I'm done with this episode. Which one was this again? Go Away Ghost Ship. Here is what I did for this one. I'm not going crazy with it, okay? I think I'm mostly done with this. What's this one called again? Spooky Space Kook. I think I'm mostly done with this one. The only two that I really need to work on now are the carnival one, which is called Bedlam, and the big top. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, oh well. And which is which for here. So let's finish up the carnival one. I changed the colors of the roof pieces to make them a little more dull. I don't want it to be as bright because it's supposed to be spooky. Oh, what about one of these cannons? Maybe we can add these inside the tent. The tarot reading, maybe, over here in this corner. I kind of like these balloons because they are sort of dull. Oh, you know what I should do? I just had an idea. What if I do a small little pool like this? And then I want to raise this fountain or this pool up a little bit like that. But I want to grab these rubber duckies and make like the duck game, if you know what I'm talking about. I've done some work on the exterior just to sort of finish it up. I really need to get a move on. I added these two little mannequins dressed up as clowns, added some dolls, and now I want to go ahead and quickly do the interior of my little carnival room. I really want to do a wall of mirrors, like a mirror wall. And then I obviously need a door somewhere. I wonder if it's functional. It is! My next course of action is to add a platform in the center. This will be the stage. Okay, I did wood flooring. I really want to add some curtains. These ones do like a blue color or something. Okay, that's fine. I actually think that looks kind of interesting. What about chairs? Let's do these. Ooh, let's do the grimy red ones. Oh, what about that one children's item from the Storybook Nursery Kit? Yeah, this. Here is the completed carnival. Here is the exterior. And then I changed up some stuff on the interior. I changed this front room because it was just looking a little not great. Okay. So I went ahead and I added just two mirrors like these. Think of these as like the funky mirrors that make your body look bizarre. And I just kind of made it look very run down. And then same thing with like the main carnival stage within the tent. Very run down and kind of looks a little abandoned. And that is the goal. I have one more scene to complete, and that is the which is which. So for this one, we need witch and zombie elements. Okay, so I'm thinking we should have like a ritual witchy area, and I guess I can put some of that inside the house. Let me look through the gallery and see if I can find some things that make sense for this, and then I will show you what I find. So here is what I did with the exterior. I just added some like little posts here, and then I created this little witchy area with some bones and some totems, and then there's a zombie. So I put Zombie Carl over here because that's the only zombie we have. Let's go inside and do this last little part of this which is which episode. The first thing that I want to add is a cauldron. So let's add this rundown cauldron. I'm gonna size it down. Let's get a bed. We can do the one from Werewolf. Okay, and we'll give a lantern as the light here. Suppose we could do like a tiny little kitchen. Here is that. We'll do the wood burning oven. Perfect. Some herbs above the window maybe. Here's the potions. Let me show you what I did because I finished the entire exterior so we can get a move on. So with the witch house, here is what I did. I did not go overboard just because I have so much more to do, but I think it looks good. I of course added our mystery machine. That's my version of the mystery machine. Okay. And then I added an archway here. And then in the backyard, I did a couple of things. I added a seating area here, little grill because they love to eat. Scooby and Shaggy love to eat. After that, I wanted to add like this spooky little shed. This is a debug item from Horse Ranch. And then I added some creepy like statues just kind of around in the backyard. I don't know. I thought it was interesting to add those like along the pathway. And then I also created a hedge maze because I feel like that just makes sense. So here is the maze. Very fun. And it ultimately leads to this creepy little well. That is going to do it for my entire exterior. Let me show you what my plans are for the interior. It's 3 stories. This is what I'm thinking. So when you first walk in, we're gonna have our kitchen here. I want a pantry because food is going to be a major component in this particular build. That's gonna be that. We're gonna have a bathroom over here. In this room right here, this is gonna be our dining room. A hallway leading to our living room. This room, what did I decide for this room? I think I was gonna make this like our costume disguise room. So this is where we're gonna have a bunch of different costumes and disguises. Going upstairs, we're gonna have all of our bedrooms on this floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. And then this is just a hallway. And then Scooby, his bedroom's gonna be over here. You can actually access it from the front door. So it's gonna lead up into this. And then there's also a second story to it. So that's gonna be Scooby's room. And then last but not least, up here, we're gonna have another hallway. This is going to be some sort of special room. And this is going to be our investigation room. So this is where they're going to go to gather and discuss the crimes, okay, the case, and figure out what's going on. So that's what this is going to be. So the kitchen, I want it to feel a little older, but I want it to be kind of chaotic. This is where Shaggy and Scooby are going to be spending a lot of their time. For our kitchen cabinets, again, I want it to be older. Maybe just Horse Ranch. Let's add a fridge right here. Yep, let's just do this one. Fabulous. And we'll do a small dining nook here. Maybe this one? That should be fine. Should I do this like stone pattern? I could do this mud room since this is also the front entryway. Here is the kitchen counters. I added a bunch of like food clutter, like the sort of ripped wallpaper swatch. I think it's so cool. Let's do this one of like a spooky mansion. Okay. I'm not sure if I like these chairs. Let's do these. I could do these. This is from Get to Work. Let's just get started on this. Add the bread box. Okay, after cluttering up my pantry, here it is. I added a bunch of stuff to the shelves, added some stuff on the ground. I added the cotton candy maker over here. Let's go ahead and move on to my dining room, shall we? Okay, I think we'll go with this wallpaper. I want it to feel like Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Okay, so I want it to feel like the scene was abruptly left, like something's a little off in here. And then for our chairs, let's do these chairs and let's pull one of these out and have it kind of funky. Let's grab some plates. Very interesting. Now for a rug, I like the one from Get Famous because it's really quite large. Fabulous. And then back here, I'm gonna put like a sideboard, like a serving area where we're gonna have some food stuff, just like that. Okay, let's do these treat trays. We can add some tea here. Okay, let's do this. Let's have all of the other plates be empty and cleaned off, but we're gonna have this plate, which is gonna be, I guess, Scooby's plate, is not going to be eaten. The food is still there. Oh, and what if we added some of these muddy paw prints? Okay. That's kind of interesting. I think that serving area looks pretty good. And then over to this side, we can maybe add a table that's not a buffet table here. So let's grab a mirror. Perhaps that one. I don't know. And then I'm going to do a fireplace. We'll do this one from Discover University. That's fabulous. We'll do that. Yeah, let's do these ones. Just like that. I think to like give a little nod to my go away ghost ship scene, I'm gonna add this pirate ship up on the fireplace mantle. I put this picture like slightly off kilter. I want everything to just be a little off. Maybe we add those again. Okay, I feel like the dining room looks pretty good. Let's move in to our living room. So like I mentioned, this is gonna be some sort of secret room. Because this is gonna be a secret room, let's go ahead and do the bookshelf door. This one, here we go. For our couches, I need something comfy, cozy. Oh, I think I like this one better. We'll do that table. I could do this. This feels very lived in. This is gonna be a trust the process kind of room. I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe we'll do the same fireplace. I don't know. I just like that one best for this sort of look. Oh yeah, here's burgundy. I like that. I think that's okay, maybe. Let's give a little area for Scooby. So let's do like a dog bed, and we can do one of these bigger ones. Okay, and then let's do a little table over here or something with a TV. Let's do that, old TV. Maybe we can add some more bookshelves or something. I could close this room completely. Maybe just add an archway to separate the areas a little bit better. I think that might look better. Let's do this picture here. We'll do this picture here, and we can add this one here. Above the couch, maybe we can add this massive portrait for no good reason. Let's do this one. This candelabra. Do I want to add any tables here? Okay, let's do these ones. Let's add some little clues. We can add some case files. Let's add a book to the coffee table. Maybe we can add like a potion. That'll be our little nod to which is which. Yeah, we could do the green. Okay, let's also add some things to make it very Scooby and the gang. Okay, I want to grab some cups or some soda cans to make it just feel like they're just sitting here trying to figure it out. What about a cupcake? I finished the living room, I think. So here is a living space. Again, you guys, I'm not going too crazy with the clutter. They've got their case files. This is it to this side, and these pictures actually change in live mode. What I would really like is a trap door that's hidden and underneath something. I think that would be really cool. I could add this underneath this bench here. Maybe that's a secret trap door. Play into my delusions. Here is Scooby's little hangout area. Shaggy can come hang out in here with him, or whoever wants to read a book. I also completed the bathroom all the way over to this side. Simple little bathroom, which means I'm almost completely done with the downstairs. I just need to do the secret room right in here. Now this is a door leading to this secret room, so I need to figure out how to address that. Maybe you actually get led into like this small room. I don't know what's gonna be in that yet, but it's not actually an entrance to this room here. Let's grab some clothing racks. Let's grab a couple of these, and then I'm gonna need the costume trunks. Here's one. Here's another little rack I'm gonna stick in this corner. Let's grab some clothes. Perfect. We need masks, weird props, things like that. We'll do this shelving unit. I also really want to grab a mannequin, and we're going to add a couple of these. Here is a salon chair, also going to be important for really bringing a character to life. Okay, there's some hats. Here are some glasses. Here's a pile of clothes, a helmet. Oh, what about these? How cute. There is my shelf full of different prop items. I think I want to add just some mirrors on the wall. That's fabulous. Okay. I completed my little like disguise costume room. Here are the costumes I put together. Very random. I didn't want them to be like completed looks, but just some random items that they can pull from. I also wanted to show you that I added 2 mannequins over here as well. So I added a witch, and then I did create my own little zombie here. Let's go up and start on the second floor. Maybe add like some bookshelves or something. Also, I did change this to a bookshelf door, so it's like a little more secretive getting into this next part of the house. I don't know, I just thought that was fun. And then we can add a desk in front of it, a desk for all of them to use. Let's do this research archive machine. We can continue with like the snacks and the drinks, this stack of books on the floor. Here are my completed hallways. Here is this one here. We've got our desk with our research machine, seating area over to this side, and then through the mystery door, we have this other hallway. Kept it pretty simple and chill. The layout is going to be Fred's room, Shaggy's room, Velma's room, Daphne's room, and then Scooby's room. So let's go ahead and start with Fred, and I will tell you a little bit about Fred so we can find out what sort of things we can expect to see in his room. Fred Jones is the leader of the Mystery Inc. gang, and more often than not, the driver of the van. He is statuesque and brave, everything that Shaggy is not. He has been seen to be the level-headed and stoic leader. He also has an extreme obsession with nets that he uses to set up traps. Fred has come to build overly complicated traps for the villains. That is something that we should keep in mind, is that he builds the traps. He also becomes an author. So I've already picked flooring and wallpaper. Let's go ahead and pick out a bed. I think I kind of like this one. He's gonna need a dresser and a desk. Let's do this orange chair. And I don't know if I'm sold on this bed. What about that bed? I kind of like that. If I put the desk here, is that okay? Sure. And then I just need a dresser. Maybe I can do something like this. It's happened again. where I make decisions and then I think on it, I look back at it and I decide, what was I thinking? This must change immediately. And also having the realization that you're probably thinking the same thing. And now we're on the same page and it's beautiful and it's great. The problem is I was filming way too long yesterday, clearly was not thinking straight. And today's a new day. I slept on it. I woke up and I'm like, what am I doing? So here's what I'm referring to, okay? The color scheme. If you are someone who was yet again screaming at your screen, Ariel, what are you doing with this color scheme? Let me explain to you my thought process initially. Okay, I wanted to do like a haunted mansion theme for the main rooms in the house, and then obviously have the themed bedrooms for each of the characters and their personal aesthetics. So that's kind of what I was going for. However, after further thought, I came to the realization that Scooby-Doo does have like a color scheme that you think of when you think of Scooby-Doo. And those are primarily like greens, purples, browns, things like that, all of which were not at all represented in this house with the exception of green. So I made some changes. The kitchen is exactly the same. I have not made any changes. However, you will notice that there has been a lot of changes in the other room. Here is the dining room. I kept it mostly the same, but I really wanted to lean in to the green and purple color scheme. Everything's the same with the exception of the colors. Here's the living room. That's mostly true in here as well. Everything's the same with the exception of the colors, and I changed some of the rugs and like the chair, added some pillows, added some additional curtains. Here it is over to this side. I just wanted to pull in those signature colors for Scooby-Doo. Hopefully you're happy now. I can hear you. I can hear you screaming at me. Here is the hallway. Again, just swapped some of those colors and some of the items to make it match a little better. And same thing with this portion. Now that we have that addressed and taken care of, let's get back into Fred's room. I'm not in love with this yet. I could do this blue dresser. Like, what do I think about that? Here's something to also consider when thinking about some of this furniture that's going to be in the bedrooms is you have to think of what time period the show was based in. So it's like the 60s and 70s, right? So think of those retro color schemes like orange, teal, that's type of color scheme. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm envisioning, pulling in that retro vibe as well. Let's maybe do these lamps. Now let's give him like a planning strategy zone on his desk here. So we can give him a computer. Let's give him this word processor because he's our writer. Some papers on the floor, file folder. Let me grab him some of the blueprints. Like he's doing the blueprints for some traps that he's going to be making. So let's grab this blueprint. Let me get rid of that and let's add this. I'll add this to the wall. Interesting. Let's add some traps. Let's see what type of traps we have. A mouse trap. Here's a trap. It's a lobster trap, but a trap nonetheless. Here's another one. Crab trap. Oh, here's another little fish trap. Maybe we can add some shelves on the wall. I think that looks pretty decent. All right, here is the completed bedroom for Fred. I think it looks very cute. Again, I wanted to lean into the retro 60s, 70s aesthetic while maintaining their own personal colors and interests. Let's move on to our next room, which is going to be for Shaggy. Let me tell you a little bit about Shaggy. So Shaggy is another member of the Mystery Inc. and the owner and best friend of their team's mascot, Scooby-Doo. Shaggy is described by many characters as a hippie due to his generally laid-back persona. He and Scooby-Doo have nearly insatiable appetites as well as tendencies towards goofing off and cowardice. Although usually considered a coward, Shaggy often proves useful in ferreting out the monsters and ghosts that are usually at the heart of the gang's mysteries. For his bedroom, Shaggy is also shown to be quite messy. Let's pick a bed. The bed that I'm thinking of is either the one from Lovestruck or the one from Eco Lifestyle. Okay, I could do that. For our side tables, let's do these ones. What about this one? This is from Get Famous. We're gonna need a dresser, but let's put it over here. Let's have like a seating area. Maybe this table with this older busted up TV. I think I want to do some beanbag chairs. This swatch, add this up here on the dresser, clothing pile, maybe some dog treats. Let's maybe give Scooby a bed here in the corner or something. Let's grab this low table. Let's do this sandwich. Sodas. I feel like he and Scooby would play video games. So I'm gonna find the controller item. Give each of them their own controller. Oh, let's do the retro one. Yes. Actually, since we did the retro gaming console, let's do the retro controllers. Let's do the pizza box, the Chinese takeout. I changed one of the wallpaper or one of the walls to have this sort of funky pattern. I actually think I'm going to put them on this wall because they're nice and big and they take up a lot of space. All right. Here is the completed room for Shaggy. I just added some posters on the wall, some of these pictures over on this side. Yeah, I think it looks like a Shaggy room. Now it is time to move on to our next room, which is going to be for Velma. Let me tell you a little bit about Velma. Velma, who is also part of the Mystery Inc., is often the one that is used to decipher clues and solve the crimes. She has a fascination with mysteries and at times can be competitive with other people who are very intelligent like she is. She is sharp-witted and sometimes sarcastic. She loses her glasses on a regular basis, immediately claiming my glasses, I can't find my glasses. Long story short, she is our more intellectual character. All right, her primary colors are going to be like a burnt orange, red, and like browns, maybe even like a mustard yellow. Let me go ahead and pick out a bed for her. Oh, what about this one? I kind of like that one. Let's do the nightstands from Discover University. Okay, and then a desk. Let's just do that one. Now she's gonna need some bookshelves. Okay, we've got her bookshelf and desk area. Let's pick a rug. Let's do that one. Let's add the lava lamp over here. Let's add an open book on her bench. I can add this box of files, some pens. Let me go ahead and just put this one. Do we have a magnifying glass? I actually don't know. Oh, I need glasses. Yes. Perfect. Yes, see, this is what I was looking for because it's got the items that I want. Oh, this art is perfect. And after some cluttering, here is Velma's room all complete. I changed the wallpaper on this wall just to add something a little more funky. I don't know how I feel about it, but we're leaving it. Added tons of books, lots of papers as far as like clues and cases go. Here is this wall. I cluttered up these shelves and we've got her dresser over to this side. Next up, we have a bedroom for Daphne. Let me tell you a little bit about Daphne. So Daphne Blake is the fashion-loving member of Mystery Inc. She has a tendency of getting into danger. While not as smart as Velma, Daphne would always solve her problems in a different way. Daphne has displayed many abilities such as having a black belt in karate. She can use different kinds of makeup accessories to open locked doors and cages. So Daphne's primary colors are like a purple and green. Obviously, this matches Daphne. Maybe I'll do one wall. I don't want it to look too much like Samantha from Totally Spies. Let's pick a bed for Miss Daphne. I could try to make that work. She is absolutely going to need a vanity. I think I want to use this. We can do this purple desk. Let's do this green patterned heart chair. Nightstands. Let's do these ones. Maybe these with the green lampshades. Hang some clothes. Or I can add it here. That looks pretty good. I need a full body mirror. Let's do this bench. Hello, is this Samantha's room again? Do I want to have this rug in here? I think I like this rug more. All right, and after some finishing touches, here is the room for Daphne. I added a yoga mat because it says that she's flexible. So, and also she's good at karate. I didn't know what else to add for karate specifically. We don't really have anything. So I just added a yoga mat. Here it is to this side. Here it is over to this side. Added makeup, things that she can use to pick locks apparently. Our last room on this floor is gonna be for Scooby. Let me tell you a little bit about Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is a Great Dane mascot of the Mystery Inc. and he is pet and best friend to Shaggy. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy share several personality traits, mostly being constantly hungry, being scared easily, and most of the time refuse to help others. He enjoys a lot of attention and would sometimes appear brave and heroic. He also doesn't like being upstaged when someone does better than him and would try to prove otherwise. Now, this is a two-story room, so on one of the stories, we'll probably do like his dresser, toys. Let's start up here and figure out what I want to put here. For Scooby's bed, I think I'm going to do a dog bed. So I wonder if I can put it up on a platform maybe. Okay, some comfy, cozy pillows on the ground. And then down here, I can have More dog bowls. Let's add some counters with some snacks on them. These ones. Let's add this snack thing, some cookies, and I want the dog food to stick over in the corner here. That looks good. These toys all over the place. Mystery door. Beanbag chair. Let's do a cupcake, ice cream cone. I finished up Scooby's bedroom. Here it is. This is his little snack area with all of his toys. And then up here is his little bed space and a space for him and Shaggy to hang out. I also finished up this hallway upstairs. Now I have 2 final rooms to complete. First things first, let's go ahead and do the room for the strategy case investigation room, and I really want this room to scream retro. This is the color scheme that I'm going to go for in this room. Yes, it's going to look way different than the rest of the house, and I'm okay with that. We need a large table in the center of the space. Let's make the table orange. We can do these green chairs. Maybe we do that. Let's grab a couple of desks. Let's do these or something. Can do a couple like that, like an orange chair and a pink chair. And add these files over here. There's also this. Maybe these are some clues or something that were found. We can add another one with like the ray guns. Yes, have you seen these lawbreakers? Some filing cabinets. Can add one over here. I want to add this UFO in this area. Let's give them each a desk. And now I need a rug. I like this one because it's got the funky shape. Let's personalize each of these desks. So for Shaggy, Shaggy can get a computer, maybe a laptop of sorts, and he needs snacks. Give him one of these bottles, soda, and he can have some cotton candy. Why not? And we'll give him a taco. There's Shaggy's space. This is Daphne's space. She's gonna need something cute. Let's give her one of these little mirrors. Precious. And she can have a cutesy little computer as well. Okay, and we'll do this little makeup item. All right, this is the desk for Fred. Needs some maps. Again, let's give him the word processor. That's Fred's space. And then lastly, we need Velma. You know what? Let's actually give her this one. She's gonna need stacks of books. The job has been done. Here is the completed case investigation strategy room. We've got our main table here. I just added some papers. We've got the desks for Shaggy and Daphne over to this side. And then over to this side, we have Velma and Fred. Also, in order to like make this like a little more secretive, a little more mystery, because I want this house to sort of be riddled with mysteries in that way, I added these pictures over top of the doors. So it looks like there's no doors up here. So you don't know that there's other rooms up here. So that's what I did. For this room, I'm really not 100% certain on what I want to do here. Maybe in this room, we can do like a laboratory, like a suspicious science room that can kind of like tie in like a bunch of different episodes. We could do the chemistry lab, or we can do this, whatever the heck this is. Poster here. Ooh, see, this is like weird. Some of these pipes. Let's do this weird table here that has like a science experiment happening on it. Add this. We can put that inside. And we can add some weird, nasty stains on the walls. Do these barrels. I could add a small bench over here as well. It's one of these metal benches. Perfect. Okay, I think that's gonna do it for my secret science lab, which means I am officially done with my Scooby-Doo build. And now we need to get into this final tour. All right, guys, here we are touring the Scooby-Doo build. This one I was super excited to do, but really nervous because I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to be doing for this build. I honestly, when I started this build, and most of my builds in general, I don't really have a plan going into it. I had no idea that I was going to end up building these episode scenes on the exterior. That's just something that kind of happened, but I'm really glad that I did it because I truly feel like it helped bring the entire world to life. And if you know anything about my videos, you know that I'm all about creating an actual world with my builds and not just plopping a house on a lot and calling it a day. So This is the shipwreck build, and then this one is the UFO. What is the name of it? Something about kooks. I can't remember, you guys. I seriously can't. But this is the which is which. I do remember that one. And this one was also so much fun. It was really cool to sort of get these different themes on one lot and for one overarching theme, but just something a little different. I don't know. I had so much fun with it. And yeah, you guys, this whole thing of having to like film in one cut and an explanation of what I'm doing, it's hard, okay? It is hard to do. My brain is not working. Anyway, here's the backyard. We've got our little hedge maze that I made, and now we're going inside. This was a little challenging. As you guys saw while I was building, I went a totally different direction with the color scheme specifically the first time around. And I went to sleep, and then I woke up the next day and I thought to myself, what am I doing? Like, why am I going with red? There is like a prominent color scheme that's associated with Scooby-Doo, and it's like purple and green. It's not red. So I went in, I changed everything as you guys saw, and I like this so much better. I think it really represents Scooby-Doo way more. You would actually look at this build and maybe think to yourself that, oh, this is for Scooby-Doo. So anyway, I like it so much better like this. This is my little costume room. This was just an interesting little addition, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. And then this house was really big. There's a lot of rooms in this house. This is room for Fred. I wanted to go with the more retro 60s, 70s aesthetic in the bedroom specifically. I just thought that would be a cool way to tie in that element of the show, along with, you know, obviously the rest of the house being the Haunted Mansion theme. So I thought that was fun. Shaggy's room is a mess. It's a mess. Velma's room was fun. The color scheme in here was very fall, and I like hers. I thought it was cute. Daphne's room is seriously Samantha from Totally Spies. I tried to not make it that way, but it just turned out that way. Now that I'm looking at it, I think there's some things that I could have added that I didn't, but I am not going back and doing that, you guys. That is too much for me. And I'm leaving today to go on a trip, so I don't got time for all that. But anyway, this is the like specialty rooms. We have our investigation room. I love that I really brought together that 60s, 70s retro vibe in this room. Overall, it was a super fun build. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. This one was so much fun, and it was so different than what I've been doing my last several videos, but still along the nostalgic theme that I've been on, and I think it turned out amazing. I love the spookiness of it. Even though we're not in spooky season yet, I still think that it was so much fun to do. I liked pulling a couple of the episodes into this build as well. I really didn't think I was going to do that, but I really think that it pulled the entire lot together, and the house in general just turned out so cool. I absolutely loved this build. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and which room turned out to be your favorite. And with that, you guys, we're gonna wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate all of your guys' love and support. It truly means the world to me. And if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. I really appreciate you, and I just want you to know that I love you guys. Jesus loves you guys, and you're not alone no matter what you're going through. And that was just on my heart, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So just know you're not alone. With that being said, I will see you guys in my next one. All right, bye.